this?
Yeah, that's how
I'm new to the bet show. I don't know how this works.
Come on, you got to get used to it. Welcome to the PHNX Daily Bet Show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. This week, just bet $5 on any NFL team to win their game, and if they do, you get $200 in free bets when you sign up using the code PHNX. I am with the wonderful Espo for the first time on the PHNX Daily Bet Show. Are you happy to be here?
The wonderful. I've never been described as wonderful.
Really?
Yeah, no,
that surprises me.
Especially not by my ex-girlfriend. So.
We're not doing that anymore.
We're not doing those references?
There's
okay.
too many references in the last couple of days. I compared ASU to an emotionally abusive one the other day, and I think that was the line that was correct.
That seems pretty accurate.
It is. It is. I mean, I'm not going to dwell onto why, but they're just hurting me. We're not here to talk about football, then.
We're not?
No, we're here to talk about some basketball.
Well, we're screwed then. Because the only thing worse than my son's takes are my basketball betting advice.
Good. Unfortunately, we don't have that big of a market for the cricket crowd.
You don't want to talk about
the Midnight Riders?
The Night Riders?
The Night Riders.
Oh, okay.
It's Night with a K, right?
It is. It's like the Dark Knight.
Can you name a player from that team?
No.
Oh.
Bruce Wayne. I don't know. I don't know.
So a lot of people are thinking this is probably going just like the NFL season. It's going to be a full, immersive crowd regular season since last time. I mean, there were fans in the stands toward the end, and obviously the playoffs were intense. And I've had an opportunity to go to a couple of those Suns playoff games, and it felt real. But there was no regular season basketball as it's been in the past. Are you expecting this to be kind of as hyped as the NFL season has been this year?
No, because I think NFL is a different beast since you only get 8, maybe 9 home games now, depending on how your schedule lays out in the regular season. That leaves fans wanting more. There's a little bit more pent-up energy. I think home openers for teams are going to be nuts in the NBA because in a lot of cases it will be the first time that fans have been there.
Sacramento Kings fans.
Bust out the cowbells. But look, I think first game, but overall I don't think it'll be like that. It's tough to keep that energy for 41 games.
Speaking of keeping that energy, Ben Simmons has kept that same energy that he had when he left, and he came back today. It just came out this morning that he was kicked out of Sixers practice, and Joel Embiid had some choice words to say to him. He said, "I don't care about that man. He does whatever he wants." How do you think that's going to affect that team?
He also said, "I'm not here to babysit,"
love that.
And they suspended Ben Simmons again. Look, this is going to be a distraction till they trade him, and I think they're going to trade him sooner rather than later, based off this. And I think Ben Simmons knew what he was doing. I want my money. But I'm not going to be nice about being here. So I think it will impact the 76ers significantly at some point until they rectify that issue. And then once they trade him, they're going to have to get used to whoever they bring in as well. So I think it definitely impacts them.
This isn't the ESPN studio. This is PHNX. So we're not going to predict where he's going to go. Where do you want him to go? Where would be the most fun place to see Ben Simmons play basketball?
Siberia. I just can't stand guys like that. Like what's the point? You know, like I would, I don't like dealing with that. He's gone about this the wrong way. He's whining and complaining. He's a guy that can't shoot, doesn't fit the modern game, and instead becomes a malcontent. I think Sacramento would be a great place for him. Yeah. Send him to basketball purgatory. Yeah. He can go play in Sacramento.
I love that. Well, we have some win totals predictions, and I think you included the Sixers in yours. So let's bring up Espo's win total predictions for this season. If you guys don't know how this works, it's basically this is the number of wins that the book thinks they're going to have around that margin. You pick, is it going to be over that win total or under? So Espo, explain yourself.
Well, look, this 51.5 was set, and I think it was with the assumption that Ben Simmons would be a part of this organization. I don't think he will be, and then and if he is, then he's going to be a distraction. If he's gone, then he's going to wind up. They're going to have to get used to whoever they bring in. 51.5 is a high total for a team that's going to have turmoil. I think they're going to fall under that 48, probably in that 48-50 range. So I'd take the under there just based on that.
And then 51 was the Suns as well, I believe. You want to pull that back up, Jacob?
Yeah, 51.5 for the Suns. Look, since the bubble, they've won 70+. They've won 70+% of their games. So I think they'll be the over. I think it'll be 52, 53, maybe 54 in that range. Now, DeAndre Ayton could be an issue at some point. I don't think he will be. I think they hit the over on that big time. And then the other one I chose was the Spurs.
Pop.
And 28.5 for a pop run team just seems low.
For
And
sure.
maybe the odds makers are betting on all of us thinking that, and they know better than us. But I just would never put money against Greg Popovich, and having that bad of a season. I think they win in the mid 30s and get that over on that one.
Yeah, the pop thing especially, and the roster is just fun. Bill Simmons talks about what is your league pass team. You know, what team do you like to watch that normally won't be televised? And I think the Spurs are kind of that team for me. I love watching DeJounte Murray play basketball. He's just such an exciting guy, really good defender. So I'm excited to see what they can do with that roster. It's weird because obviously they broke their playoff streak with Pop, and now it seems like they're just gonna go into a rebuilding phase. But you never know with a Pop team.
Well, and it feels like this could be Pop's last ride
For sure.
And if he's made that clear to anyone in the organization, I don't think they'll let him go out with a 28 win or worse team. So I hit that over and I hit it hard.
Definitely, I like that. All right, let's pull up my win total picks. I got the Hawks at over 46. We saw Cam Reddish come back in the playoffs, and I love him. I think he's such a talented guy, and I think that roster, it's a little weird. I was never that big of a Trae Young guy, but you cannot deny how talented he is scoring the ball. And he adding that floater and becoming a villain in New York. I mean, I love watching that team play. So I like that Hawks over 46 wins. And then the Rockets, man. I looked at this win total this morning and I was like, 26. I mean, come on.
That is a lot.
Yeah. Well, I was just like what's the roster look like? And then I looked at the roster and oh my God, John Wall, and that's it. I mean, you have your young guys like your Kevin Porter Juniors, Jalen Green's supposed to do a lot.
But Christian Wood is still there, right?
It's that singing guy. Is he there? Or is he in Cleveland?
Look, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a poo-poo platter of guys you've kind of heard of, but haven't really. And if they get to 26 wins or over 26 wins, it would be a shock to most of the NBA.
And then pull up my last one as well. It was the Heat. The addition of Kyle Lowry, you saw what he was able to do in the preseason. Jimmy Butler and him just kind of get along. There was a great clip, if you want to get the camera back on me. There was a great clip of Jimmy Butler in their last preseason game, or maybe second last preseason game, doing the Kyle Lowry walk, where he walks with his ass out. And
that's how Kyle Lowry always walks, because he's got a giant
ass. He's got a dump on him, dude.
Kyle Lowry is built like me. He's like the NBA version of me. It's not a good look.
Yeah. So, I'm excited to see what the leadership of Lowry can do with that team. Obviously, it's gelling well. The Heat, to me, are just such a fun team. They're another league pass team to me. I mean, Jimmy Butler is one of my favorite players. After he got all the locker room stuff figured out, he's been really good in Miami. So 48.5 over. I like that a lot. I also think the East isn't great again.
I think you're nuts on the Atlanta one.
Really?
I think they're a team primed for a backslide.
Okay.
Because the Trae looks like a guy that's buying into his own hype. They got a little lucky, and it's tough saying that as a Suns person, because obviously people accuse the Suns of the same thing, but I feel like the Hawks got extra lucky in the playoffs. I think there's a little too much hype around them. I think that 46 is probably right about where it should be.
Well, to that I say, let's make a bet. And the reason why I'm confident is because not only I think Cam Reddish is going to take a huge step forward. I almost picked him as my most improved. But I also think that their bench is deep. I just love me some Kevin Huerter. I love me some DeAndre Hunter. I think they're young and they're all going to take a step forward. So here's my bet. This is what I propose to you. Hawks go over 46.5 wins. I have to shave my mustache.
Okay. If Hawks if the Hawks go under, you shave.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
If they go over, I'll rock the mustache for a playoff coverage.
You heard it here first.
There
folks.
we go.
Love it. All right. Well, let's get to our awards. But before we do that, if you want to bet on the awards, you can head over to the DraftKings Sportsbook app or anything. They have everything you can imagine. It was so hard building the rundown for the show because there are so many fun things on that app. You can get the exact way the divisions are going to line up, who's going to win it, who's going to come in second, who's going to come in third. You can get the conference winners. You can get who's going to play each other in the finals. There's just so much stuff. You can bet on points per game, the scoring leader, everything you can imagine. It's on that DraftKings Sportsbook app. So if you want to have some money out for the whole season, all you have to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use that promo code PHNX. And this week, right now, you can bet $5 on any NFL team to win their game. And if they do, you get $200 in free bets. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NFL, 21 plus, Arizona only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. I'm trying to get that memorized. I really want to, but I never want to forget something.
I had it memorized and I still messed it up and had to go back and read it. So I feel interesting offer they've got for NBA right now too for tonight's opening night. If you bet on the money line in the Warriors Lakers game, whichever team you pick, you're going to get $2 for every point either Seth Curry. You're screwed if it's Seth. Steph Curry or LeBron scores. So great deal going on there that you can opt into as well.
We love those fun things from DraftKings. All right, let's get to the awards. We'll go me first. These are the ones I know you're not going to like this. Jokic MVP. The last couple times we've seen MVPs, they've repeated. I mean, Giannis has repeated. I think Jokic without Jamal Murray for a lot of the season is primed to repeat. I know he's dealing with some stuff right now, but at plus 1,500 is great. I think you picked Giannis, and I liked that a lot, but it wasn't juicy enough for me, and I'm all about the juice here, which explains my last pick. But first, we'll go to Monty, Coach of the Year. I think the snub of last year's Coach of the Year is going to propel him higher if they can get to a big win total. And it's a plus 1,100. He's not even close to the favorite, so I really like that plus 1,100. And my last one is juicy. Matthias Thybulle, Defensive Player of the Year, plus 2,200. He's going to have a bigger role in that team. He's just, I mean, we saw what he was able to do to Devin Booker. It was painful. I mean, he is such a pesky mother effer.
I think that's where you throw a few shekels down. It's a great low risk, high reward kind of thing to do there. I like that. I'm not bothered by the Jokic pick. It was between him and Giannis, which you'll see was my pick, but that's great odds for a defending MVP. The Monty one's where I have my problem here, because Monty's going to have to do so much to top what he did last year to actually get it.
Definitely.
And last year wasn't enough for the voters. They still go with a New York coach because of the East Coast bias in a lot of ways. So that's the one that I think will be the most difficult one.
Yeah, to me, if they're able to do what they did last year and get that second spot with a lot going on, I think it's just kind of the cumulative thing. But you never know how voters vote for this award, so we'll leave it at that. Let's get to your award picks for this NBA season. You have so much juice in here.
Look, my son's fandom is showing a bit here, but
Put that away.
Sorry. Luckily, we're not on camera. So, look, the Ayton Defensive Player of the Year at plus 4,000, with him getting snubbed on the contract extension, he's going to be motivated. And I like anybody that's going to have that little extra motivation. When you get it at plus 4,000, I'm in on that. Like you said, a lot of juice there. This next one is juicier than a ripe peach. All right, Cam Johnson as most improved player at plus 8,000. Right, this guy I believe has as much potential as anybody offensively on this Suns team. I think he'll wind up in the starting lineup eventually in place of Jay Crowder. He's a guy that kind of flew under the radar even in the Suns' big run, where he played a significant role. That with the Suns playing so many national TV games this year, I think he's the kind of guy that he'll have those wow moments and people are like, oh, wow, Cam Johnson has improved. Now, it may not feel like as much to us, but I think he's going to have the chance to impress people.
Is there a Sweet Baby Angel award that we could give him?
You'll have to ask Lindsey Smith. I don't know about
Sweet Baby. He would be the favorite by far.
I don't know about Sweet Baby Angel awards, but I do know that most improved is within his wheelhouse.
Plus
and
8,000.
Then Giannis at plus 800. I mean, this guy is now the defending champ. We saw him drop 50 in a closing game of an NBA Finals. He is just the pedigree of what an MVP is. And if you get it at plus 800, I'm all in on that. That seems like an easy bet to take a chance on.
The thing that scares people a lot is having money out for a whole year of basketball. But when you look at the odds, I mean, plus 800, if you get that on a game you think a team's going to win, which is what Giannis is, he's a player you think is going to win. I mean, just eat your funds for a little bit. Let it happen.
Ask the people who bet Kyler Murray MVP in the preseason and got plus 2,000 odds.
I wonder where they heard about that. Oh, it was on this show before the NFL season started.
Really? I don't watch the show, so I'm kidding. Only for Johnny, though.
Yeah, for sure. Before we wrap, we were talking about Giannis, and there were there was a bold prediction about him creating a jump shot. And there were some clips of him in preseason pulling up from three, and everyone gets excited when they see it happening, and it feels like it's every year. Do you think that's going to happen?
Why does he need it?
I
He
know.
dominated. If he gets it, it's like that's like the guy adding a brand new Lambo and he has 14 cars in his garage already. Like, do you really need it?
Yeah.
No. Is it nice? Well, hell yeah, it's nice if you can afford it.
I almost think it would. I mean, he's not going to become a lights out shooter. That's like almost not possible. Like
he's the Greek freak for a reason.
True.
If any guy could figure it out, it's probably him.
But I think his ceiling for shooting is like a good shooter. Like he maybe hits 30-something% from three, which would be great. But also, it would kind of affect the game to me. Like he already takes too many jump shots as is, and I know it's because he's not making them, but he can get to the rim every time. I don't understand it.
But look, if he can shoot league average from there,
yeah,
it's going to open the lane more for him too. He'll be able to fake that. You're going to have to stay honest on him, and he's going to be able to blow by you in another way. That's why plus 800, if he adds an element to his game,
sure.
is a no-brainer to me.
Well, that's a bold prediction some people are making. I'm going to give you my bold prediction, and if you have one for the NBA season, you can give it. I didn't tell you to bring one, so no problem if not. But mine is that the Nuggets are going to eat their money, and MPJ is going to either get injured again or he's just not going to produce on what people think. I hated that since it happened. Also, it caused some turmoil in Phoenix for other reasons with Aiden's contract, but I just don't think that he's going to perform at the level. I don't know if that's super bold, but that's my bold prediction.
I like that. I would go with the Lakers are going to be in the play-in game again.
I love that.
I mean, you look at it, it's the LA morgue. They collected a bunch of corpses.
They just got Avery Bradley.
Yeah, I'm like, and somehow they got younger by doing that.
Yeah.
That tells you everything you need to know. I don't see why many people have them as a favorite to win the title. I get the LeBron factor, I get AD, but they're carrying literal dead weight with them. So I don't understand why they have it.
Yeah, very true. All right, well, this has been the season preview with. I'm going to call you Greg. This was with Greg. I am Shane. You can follow me on Twitter at Shane D. If you can follow Espo at Espo.
I think it's it's one of the 4-letter words.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Good, congratulations. You
Thank
can also
you.
super follow him.
There's no reason to. I post nothing, and it'd be a total waste of your money. But subscribe to PHNX.
Yeah.
Go PHNX.
They're sports betting, so clearly they don't mind wasting some money.
That's a plus 8,000 on any return that you're going to get. There's not a chance you get any value.
You can follow the PHNX sports account wherever across all socials at PHNX_sports. You can follow our bets page at PHNX_bets on Twitter. And we will be here tomorrow, every Monday through Friday at noon on the PHNX YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us today, and join us tomorrow as well. Peace.
Ahoy.